is everyone doing? Class this morning was great. Meditation was so nice. Sarah, you and Alan just have such, you radiate such a beautiful presence. I really enjoyed that. Thank you.
Oh. Thank you. It's a pleasure. It was such a pleasure. So it really felt amazing to me to practice with everyone. So
yeah.
Thanks again.
Great. Well, we're still letting a few people in. Who aside from Lori, was there anyone else that wasn't here this morning? Maybe a show of hands, or you can no? Okay, good. So everybody knows that we chimed in and we introduced Wilka Tika and Terry and Lucero. And this now we'll be diving in a little bit deeper into Peru. And we'll talk about some Peruvian healing rituals. We'll explore the chakra gardens. They actually have 7 gardens that are specifically designed around the 7 chakras. So we'll really dive in a little bit deeper there and then have an understanding on some flower essence and how we can incorporate that into our lives. So I'd love to hand it over to Lucero and Terry over there in Peru to take it over from here.
Great. Thank you, Dawn, and thanks again to Sarah and Alan for a lovely morning. We had such a nice time doing yoga here in the garden, right where we're sitting, looking over the Andes. And we're in the healing gardens here. And then over at Wilka Tika, which is our main resort, we have 7 different chakra gardens. And we're going to give you a little taste today of what those 7 gardens can do in terms of a meditation and flower healing. And then I'd like to just say a few words about our wellness program that we've just launched literally this week. It's going to start happening now. We've invited Peruvians to come from all over the country to explore a different kind of wellness. And we're going to incorporate the actual chakra gardens into each of the themes. So there'll be a 7-day program. Each day is going to work on one chakra, and each day we'll have a yoga activity, yoga and mindfulness, a spa, an Andean spa activity such as a solar bath or a Temescal sweat lodge, and then there'll be an Andean ceremony, and there'll be a ceremony to Pachamama, a fire ceremony, a water ceremony, a cocoa leaf reading. So every day we'll have a different chakra, a different ceremony, a different ritual, and a different flower. And so I just want to talk a little about Lucero, and then she's going to lead this part of the program. Lucero, like many people living in Lima, wanted to get out of the big city during the pandemic, and so came here to the Sacred Valley. She's already been to Wilka Tika a few times, both with friends and with a group that she led, but she wanted to come with her family, and so she brought her husband and 2 kids here, and they've been here with us since July. And so we've had a wonderful time together working on different things, mainly flower essences and essential oils and different types of blends that we've been working on, using all the different flowers and healing properties and plants that my mother has been growing here for 25 years. So for Lucero, and I'll let her speak for herself, it was a lot of fun. And for me, it's just been a great honor to work with somebody who's focused totally on flowers and has a lot of experience and knowledge. So that's what we've been working on for the last month. And that's why I wanted to, last few months. And that's why I wanted to mention the wellness program, because we actually built this wellness program around the chakra gardens and around the different flower medicines and properties that we've been doing. And I guess one of the things I'll say that I thought of this morning during the Tantra meditation was that a lot of people come to Peru for, plant healing. And there's some very powerful plant teachers in Peru, such as San Pedro and ayahuasca. And those of you who are considering coming to Peru, you'll hear a lot about these plants, and they're wonderful plants. But what I wanted to say about Wilka Tika is we've always focused on the natural, non-entheogen plants. So these are just your daily plants, which you'll see today with Lucero, and they grow in your garden. They're completely safe and non-toxic. You can put them in your tea. Some of them, of course, have more powerful properties, but we're not talking about any crazy psychoactive plant that you need to fly across the world for. We're talking about things that grow mostly in the US, in Europe, in South America, in South Africa. So most of the plants we'll be working with here are very safe and natural plants.
So we've got a 2-minute video that goes through each of the chakra gardens. So that's what I'm grabbing here to show you all. So So I think I saw you there, Terry, in that video.
Yes. We had to film that during the quarantine, so there were no actors available. The casting was me and my wife and a couple staff members. So
Hello, everyone. I'm so very happy to be here as a flower therapist. It's a privilege for me to be at these 7 chakra gardens that are bursting with flowers and full of Pachamama energy. It's a privilege, and I'm so grateful to be here. Okay, I want to talk to you about the flowers, and then I will show you some of the flowers here. Bueno, first tell you that flowers are the masterpieces of the divine. Okay, we might think that flowers are only here to show us their beauty or inspire us with their beautiful shapes and form, but flowers are much more than that. Flowers' divine purpose here on earth in this physical world is to give us their beautiful and vibrational energy for us to harmonize our emotions. That's the main purpose of flowers here on earth. When flowers bring us their healing energy, we are able to harmonize our emotions. And so they become like key players in our processes of evolution. They help us harmonize, be centered, and they help us see beyond our emotions. And then we can walk the path to, to our higher selves. Okay, so they are key players in our evolution process. There are 3 ways to connect with flower energy. Okay, the first one is with meditation. Okay, you can sit beside the flower and meditate with that, and you receive the vibrational energy of the flower directly. Okay, another way to connect with the healing essence of flowers is to put it directly in your chakra, the one that you feel that it's more unbalanced or that needs more healing. Okay, when you feel anxious, for instance, in the heart or in the solar plexus, you can put the flower on it and lay down and be with the energy of the flower. Okay, and the last form to connect with flower essences is to take flower essences. Okay, that is like the midterm or long-term way to treat yourself with flowers and help balance your emotions. And flowers become like partnerships, like become key players in our inner path. Okay, they open the path to our higher selves and help us balance our emotions and see beyond them. They raise also information from our subconscious so we can be aware and raise our consciousness about ourselves. Okay, so I love flower energy. And so it will be great if you are willing to explore something of this by yourself. Maybe I can show you now some of the flowers here in the gardens. I have the first one here that I wanted to show you. Maybe you can see here. This is the fuchsia flower. It's a first chakra flower. It's called fuchsia.
So here you can see the flower that at the first stage is closed. Yeah. And in the center, in the inner center, they have like these more obscure parts, that these obscure parts represents our shadows. Okay, the emotions we don't want to see, we don't want to express. And so this tells us about fear, about all the main emotions of the first chakra. And this flower reminds us that when we open to feel ourselves, to let the information of the flowers get to us and look what is beyond them, we can flourish like this flower. So this is a first chakra flower because it's like the form of a serpent that is shedded their skin. So here is an amazing another flower. This flower is called golden yarrow. Okay, here you can see these cohesive stems that are like pushing through and they form the flowers. And this is a solar plexus flower because they form like a protective shield. Okay, this is a wonderful flower for people that are shy, introverts, because they are highly sensitive. And when you are highly sensitive, it's more easier that not to be in your center, okay? So this is like a protective shield for us to be more centered and to shield us from the environment, so we are not so sensitive. And so we, in our solar plexus, can project better to the outside world, okay? Here's another flower. I like this. This is the Andean Savilla flower, okay? You know them, you know this flower as aloe. And this is a second chakra flower. It represents for me like a Kundalini serpent like that is ascending. You know that Kundalini energy is our vital force. And when it ascends, it opens and expands our chakras. So this is a wonderful flower for us to be energized and increase our perception and our chakras and strengthen our chakras. Here you can see, for instance, another flower that I think that in its form is great. It's called Trumpet Vine, okay? And if you see the flower, it has the form and the shape of a mouth, okay? A very powerful mouth. So this is a great flower for the fifth chakra because it gives us like awakens in our voice the strength and power and the shine of our voice. This flower is great to combine with another one here. That is a Snapdragon, okay? If you see this, this is also a fifth chakra flower because it's like a mouth, a very gross mouth. You can see there, it opens like a mouth. So this works perfect with Trumpet Vine because this flower energy help us bring empathy in our words. Okay, it reminds us that it's very important to choose our words with empathy. And it's great for not only for therapists, but also for psychology or anyone who worked with people and with their voice.
Lucero, Sally is asking, what was the flower called with the fifth chakra?
This one is called Trumpet Vine, that it works on the shine of the voice, the light of the voice, the power of the voice. And that one, this one is called Snapdragon. And Snapdragon is for the empathy in our words, to awaken the empathy in our words. So, I think we're...
Lucero, how do you think the flowers differ from the essential oils of the flowers? Because a lot of people might be familiar with using essential oils for healing properties.
Well, flower essences work at a vibrational level. It's energy that they work with. When we, the flower essences doesn't have any chemical inside. They are water with the energy vibrations of the flowers, while the essential oils are an extract of the plant. It has the chemistry of the plant and work on a physical level and in aromatherapy also. But vibrational energy of flowers works at the level of the soul. They help us heal our soul. They are remedies for our soul. So it's an amazing energy that everyone should try to find. If it's an energy that resonates with you, they are amazing partners in our evolution process. Okay, so I want to show you this Ruda flower that it's all over Wilka Tika, and I love this flower because, and you see here, it has like, this is the Ruda flower, Rue, it's called in English. It has the flower like little antennas. Do you see them? Okay. So this flower is very powerful for energetic protection, and not only energetic in our electromagnetic field, but also in our mind, because those little antennas remind us that help us protect our thoughts, okay? So they are great in these times
because we are so exposed to a lot of information, negative information, and taking Ruda help us a lot, like shield our thoughts and to choose, help us choose our thoughts, okay?
Lucero, how do you suggest for people to incorporate these flowers into their daily lives?
Well, if you're at home, I will suggest that you meditate with the flowers. You go to a flower store and you buy the ones that really resonate with you. It's like choosing your crystals. You have to see what intuition gets you, because when you choose it by intuition, the flower has the healing properties that you need in that time. So if you have your flower in your home that you want to connect with, you can have the flower in your hands and put it, for instance, in your fourth chakra. And simply you can lay down, if you have anxiety or whatever, you can lay down, put the flower here, and try to connect, open yourself to connect with the energy of the flower and the healing of the flower. Okay. Another thing is to fill your house with flowers. That's an amazing way to elevate the vibration of your home. And well, if you have the chance to contact a flower therapist near you, they have to be. It's a great way to connect with your emotions, to understand, to have awareness of what your emotions have to tell you, what information they have for you. It's a great way to work with flower essences. Here is a blend we make with Ruda, the ones that I told you of the little antennas. We make this blend with the energy of the flower. So you spray it like this around your aura, and it helps you clean your energy, release all dense energies, and protect your field. And now here we want to invite you to do a very entertaining exercise with one plant called Borage. Terry will put the camera in the flower, and we want to ask you if you can stare for some seconds to this plant, to this beautiful flower, and see what sensations do these flowers bring to you. See the shapes, the form, the color, what sensation that it brings you. Try to open your heart, not with the mind, and just stare for it for some seconds. Okay, so I'm here with this little plant, this little beautiful flower. It's one of my favorites. It's called Borage. And maybe, I don't know if before I tell you the properties of the flower, if you have some comments, you can comment on what do you feel the shape relates to the energy of the flower, if you could sense something of it.
It connect to opening the sixth chakra, the third eye, and go deep into clairvoyance.
Yeah, I also had a third chakra, I mean a sixth chakra. My eyes started to cry.
Oh, really? That's beautiful.
And for me, it was very fairy-like, very light energy, and connecting me to the ethereal realm.
Great.
For me, it was the back gate of the heart, and it brought up playfulness, and I'm actually playing with a hacky sack that kind of looks like it. So.
Yeah, same color and everything.
You see that the connection with the flower in person is very personal. It's a unique experience. If it brought you some of those sensations about intuition, joy, it's the energy that the mask gets to you right now. Okay, so that is, set that first, this flower is called Borage. You can see a bee there. Okay, this works on a highly sensitive level in the fourth chakra. Okay, when you take the flower essences, it works on the fourth chakra with grief, with sadness. You can see in the shape of the flower that it's like it's looking down. It's like a sad person. Okay, it's like a sad person with heaviness in their heart, looking down to earth. So, and you see also the little pelitos?
The little hairs.
The little hairs, they are filled with hairs, and this talks us about the highly sensitive, the very sensitive heart. Borage is an excellent flower to lift our hearts, to bring us back to happiness, back to joy. Okay, it's a great flower for our fourth chakra.
Is that a flower we can get in Florida?
Yes,
I think so.
I have. Yeah, they grow well in California, so they would grow well in Florida.
Oh, well, you can see here just a glimpse of these beautiful gardens. There are much more flowers to show you, but well, we expect to see you soon around here.
Does anybody have any questions? I have a few questions, but I'd love to open it up for any of you. If you'd like to ask Lucero some questions, you can unmute your microphone.
I have a question. Hi. So a lot of times we enjoy having cut flowers in the house and put in vases or, to bring in the house. And then I'm just wondering how that works because the flower is no longer rooted, but it's still, it's still the flower. So I don't know if you have something to say about the effect of that.
It's the same effect. All there is, it's intention. And if you have the intention to connect with these beautiful beings, you will. Okay, if you are in a garden and you want to cut a flower for you, you should ask permission to the flower. Let your heart be your guide, because when you connect, the flower will let you know. And if you resonate with their energy, it's that flower that the flowers are here for you. Okay, they are here for us, to help us with our emotions. So they are willing to sacrifice themselves for you. Okay, do it with intention, with respect, and grateful, and you will have a wonderful experience.
And someone's asking, Lori, would you like to unmute your microphone and ask your question?
Well, I could, but I guess I want to clarify. Was the Andean flower, the Kundalini energy, the one that you would relate to the second chakra? Or did I miss something?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I relate the Kundalini to the second chakra because it's not the Kundalini that it's in the root chakra, but it's ascending. Okay, so that's the second chakra. Okay. And it helps us expand our awareness and our chakras. And also another flower that you may found there that it's great for second chakra is hibiscus. Mm-hmm. That it's a great flower for second chakra also.
Thank you.
Because it has like the creative energy. Okay, the creative potential.
So I have a question, and I'm hoping anybody else might have some questions too. But when we talk about a flower therapist, how do you really describe that?
Well, we as flower therapists, first, the most important thing is to have a conversation with the person. We have to understand what emotions are they, their current emotional state, and what are the things they need to work on. So that's the first thing, so we can choose wisely the flowers. There are a lot of flower systems that you can take in essences. You have Bach flowers, and then California essences, and then Australian essences. And there are a lot of flowers, and each flower treats one emotion, one specific emotion. So it's very important to have this conversation so we can do a personalized formula for the person to take. And then here, if you come for instance, to Wilka Tika and have a therapy with me, I will also make you lay down on a, I'll make you lay down and put some of the physical flowers in each of your chakras, or the chakras that you need the most to work on, and of course suggest you to go to one of these gardens to meditate with specific flowers, and also to put on your chakras the essential oils that we have here, that Terry has here, that are great. For instance, there's a muña essential oil. There's a muña essential oil that works in opening our heart. So you can complement the work of the vibrational energy of flowers, and also the physical energy of the essential oils. Here you can see the muña. It's like the Andean mint.
Mm.
And
yeah.
you see the shape of the
leaf.
The leaf is in the form of a heart.
Mm.
Okay, this is all over the 4th chakra garden. So to be here is like an amazing opportunity to connect life with all this energy that it's so alive here and so available to us.
Yeah. Last year or earlier this year, maybe around New Year's, I had done a vision board and I had put on so many different flowers. It was just like I had a whole section of flowers. So I feel like, you know, there's been something calling me to plant a lot of really beautiful flowers too in our home. And then it kind of gets to the actual doing, and it's a bit overwhelming. It's kind of like what I think about when you go down to the supplement aisle and there's like so many options. It's so, and having you here, it's so interesting. I mean, what do you suggest for that? Like to schedule some time with somebody, like, or schedule some time with you, or like, how do you really decide what flowers are really going to resonate best?
Well, if you are in front of the flowers, you should feel you. You should feel your intuition, your heart. Maybe the first one that caught your attention was one, and then you start thinking, the mind, no, and then you go, oh no, but maybe this one is better, or this one because. But you should listen to your heart, and always the first message from your heart is the one that first caught your attention. Okay, not the mind. That's the most important thing when you connect directly with, and you have to decide what flower to bring to your home. For instance, there is a flower that it's called, I love that flower, that it's called Angel's Word. And it's like a powerful flower that can connect you, can clean, for instance, the connection between you, the interference between you and your higher self. So there, anything that you need to work with, you can find it in flowers. They are great.
This is a really great question from Sally, but she's asking, you know, are there any flowers you recommend to release past grief?
There is a specific flower in Bach essence, because if you want to release, it's a process, okay, of grieving. And if you want to work on that, there's a Bach flower that is called honeysuckle. Okay, that it's when you are stuck, like stuck in the past, okay, and you can not connect to the present or see your future. You are always thinking, about the past. So this flower helps you let go of that. And also, it's with grief, it's like a 4th chakra. There are several flowers that you can connect with. You have borage, you have bleeding heart, another that is called love lies bleeding, that is the kiwicha flower, that it's an Andean grain here. There are a lot of flowers that can help us with that, help you with that.
Sally, do you want to unmute your microphone?
Oh, sure. Thank you for that. I think that there's a lot of people around me in the US that need to release the past and grieve the old and move on. So that was what kind of prompted my thought. Thank you.
Yeah, not only in the US. I think everywhere.
So I guess one thing I'll say is, when you have something really tragic happen, like a quarantine or a pandemic, you know, I'm sure you've all learned, you find time to do things you would have never imagined. And so we've had these 6 months to work on essential oils, to grow flowers, to build things in the garden. And having Lucero here has just been a real gift. So I just want to thank her for sharing some of her knowledge with you. And also say that if you want to do a consultation with her, you don't have to come to Wilka Tika. She has email and she's got good internet. So you can call her and do a consultation and have more of this healing brought to your home.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Terry, do you want me to bring, I think it would be a great moment actually, maybe before the class right now, just to chat about some of the specific wellness offerings, because it really has to do with some of those healing rituals and it has to do with some of those ceremonies, right? Would you like me to pull that up and maybe have a moment?
Sure, if you want to just pull up the slide real quick, if you have it.
I do. I have it right here.
Yeah, and we put a lot of love into this program, and many of these things have been around Wilka Tika for decades. But the idea of putting them all together in the structure of the chakras really felt powerful to me. If you look at this program, you can really use the chakras for everything. You can use them for your flowers, as we've seen. You can use them for your essential oils. You can use them for your meditation. You can use them for your yoga practice, and you can use them for an offering or a ritual. And if you look at the activities we have in the ceremonies, I talked a little bit about the Kintu, that's the Coca-Leaf Blessing, where you take 3 coca leaves and you make an offering to the 3 worlds of the Andean cosmology. So if my mother Carol had been able to log in, she would have led you through a very quick blessing into the 3 worlds. And you would need your own leaf, but you don't have to use a coca leaf. You could use something else. I know for my wedding in Australia, we didn't want to bring coca leaves into Australia, so we used eucalyptus leaves. But you can make an offering with 3 leaves and whatever cosmology you feel called to use. So in Peru, we have 3 worlds. We have a lower world, a present world, and an upper world. It's called Uhu Pacha, Kai Pacha, and Hanak Pacha. Those are Quechua words. And you often do a blessing, which is called a Kintu, whenever you do something important. So if you're going to go on a long hike, which I do a lot of, I always make an offering before I go on the hike and ask for protection. And when I come back from the hike, I thank Mother Earth for protecting me. And you can do this with a work ritual. You can do this with a romantic ritual, whatever you feel called to. If you want to use the proving cosmology, then you would make an offering to the 3 worlds. Now, if you believe in 2 worlds or 1 world or whatever your philosophy is, you can do your own version of this. We're not dogmatic here in Peru. In fact, we love incorporating yoga rituals, Kabbalah rituals, Native American rituals. Everything is part of the Sacred Valley because there's so many people brought here because of the energy. So there's a lot of ways to connect with the land. And I guess the important thing is that all of it's connecting with Mother Nature and all of it's about gratitude.
And Sally, I see you really agreeing.
Well, I was in Peru in 2017. I stayed at Wilka Tika with a group of people, and it was just phenomenal. The Wilka Tika is beautiful. The people there, the people that help out there and run the show there are perfect in their graciousness. And the mountains were just, you could feel the energy pulsing. And I'd go out in the morning and the mountains are around the beautiful retreat house. And I could just cry just thinking about it. It was just so profound. And taking different treks to different sites in the Sacred Valley it was just so moving. So I'm so thrilled to hear more about what's going on there. And thank you, Lucero, for the flower work. That was very interesting.
I want to introduce someone. Sally, thank you so much, because I want to introduce Antonia. Come here, Antonia. I'm embarrassing her. This is Antonia. Hola, Antonia. Everyone say, oh.
Buenas tardes,
Hola. Buenas tardes. Aquí tienes, how many people do we have? Más de 30 personas de todos los Estados Unidos y de muchos países que quieren saludar. Sally, you were just talking about our staff. So Antonia is the head of staff, and she's been with us since the very beginning, since 1994. And her brother is the chef. Her other brother is the artist. And her other brother is the head of reservations. And her other brother is the maintenance man. And then on the other family, we have our head bartender, our head of cleaning, our gardener, and our other gardener, all from the other family that's married into her family. So we have 8 of these wonderful people who've been with us from the beginning, and their extended family, which extends to 19 people. So, ¿algo que quieres decirles de los Estados Unidos?
A los pajeros.
Sí.
Estamos gustosos de recibirles. cuando viene en el 2021.
She says she's very happy to have you come visit us in 2021. We're looking forward to getting our groups back.
En quechua.
¿En quechua? ¿Quieres decir algo en quechua?
¿En quechua?
Una bendición a los tres mundos.
A los tres mundos, a los apus.
A los apus.
En
¿sí?
quechua.
En quechua. Hasta tengo un quinto aquí.
No me olvidó, Terry.
Los tres mundos nada más. Tienes que decir los tres mundos.
Hanakpacha, Kaipacha, Ujupacha, Bendicihuayco, Pasajero con Chayamunampa.
Gracias. Thank you, Antonia. Gracias, Antonia.
Ciao.
Gracias,
So that was a blessing to the three worlds in Quechua. Now you've all heard Quechua. You can tell your friends you can speak a few words of Quechua.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so just before we transition, Nikki had a question. Nikki, do you want to ask your question?
Sure. Hi, guys. I was just curious if for each particular chakra garden, if only those flowers relating to the chakras are grown there. For instance, the root chakras only have flowers associated with the root chakra, the heart chakra associated only with the heart. So just curious.
That's a good question. I've wondered that myself, and I know my mother too well to know that she doesn't believe in the word only. She will plant whatever flower she likes, and if it looks good and it feels right, then it belongs there. And that's pretty much what Lucero was just saying too. It's a very intuitive process. She's a very intuitive person. You know, watching her cook and asking her for a recipe, it doesn't work that way. But you are right that every garden has its thematic plant, and the energy of that plant is very important for the garden. So in the fourth chakra, actually the fifth chakra, we have Tarwi. In the fourth chakra, we have Munya. There's at least one sort of master plant that fits with that garden. And we have to make, in fact, just recently, my mother sent me an email because she could see these pictures. She said, you don't have any Tarwi in the throat garden. That's the most important plant. You need to plant more Tarwi. And a lot of these plants are annuals, and they get planted once or twice a year. So they need to constantly then be regenerating. And that's frankly my biggest challenge, because I'm not a gardener. I can run the hotel and the retreat center, but knowing exactly what the garden needs. Fortunately, she's trained 19 people, and all of them, like Antonia, have grown up farming and gardening. So they know intuitively what to do, but they have a very tough time explaining it. And that's been both a blessing and a challenge here, is that we have an immense amount of knowledge from all these staff, but getting it written down and getting it documented is a whole nother challenge. If you want to learn about the gardening, then my mother was able to actually write down her 20 years of experience into her book with some beautiful photos. And so she does walk you through the process of building a chakra garden. And I think, you know, she's one of the few people who still believes in hardcover books. So there will be an opportunity for you all to get the book, and then you can learn how to make your own garden.
Thank you, Terry. I think what's so interesting about this collaboration today is that, you know, Terry and I were talking about doing a virtual retreat, and separately I was talking to Sarah about doing a virtual retreat, not knowing that we were going to pair Peru at all. And then when I introduced Terry and said, well, Sarah and Alan Finger, he made the connection between Alan's father. And we were all kind of totally blown away that there was that connection back from South Africa. And here we all are. And we didn't really know that wasn't the intention, you know, it was just all came together. So I think that there's a real purpose that we're all here together.